Hello, friends. Greetings from beautiful Fayetteville, Arkansas. This is your old girl, Melanie Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Saturday, October 30th, 2021. The moon starts out in Leo today and makes ingress to Virgo around lunchtime. This represents another shift in the heart and home from fiery, celebratory vibes to a more earthen, problem solving energy. The waning crescent energy of this moon invites us to begin releasing whatever it is that we no longer need in anticipation of the new moon next Thursday when we begin again to plan and create. The sun is in Scorpio, and that couldn't be more appropriate for a holiday that emphasizes our fascination with the occult and otherwise unknown. Scorpio brings us deep into our energetic and intuitive body, making it all feel more intense and connected on a deeper level. We notice the coincidences and eventually we learn to treat them as signs. We listen to our hearts as we delve into our divinatory practices. Our guides await on the other side, eager to share what is normally deeply buried. So let's take a look at our planets and aspects before we get into interpretations of the movements of the planets today. As always, we have the sun. The sun represents your outer life, or who you are out in the world, in your social sphere, in your workplace environment, wherever you tend to go outside of your house. And we have the moon, which is our inner life. So this is the emotional and intuitive self. This is our relationship with ourself. It's also our domestic sphere, like where we are at home and who we are at home with and how we tend to be at home. We have Venus with us today. Love and money, friends. How do you relate to those things you value the most? Venus's style is to sit back with the understanding that abundance is always flowing in and just enjoy and receive. Jupiter, growth and opportunity, positive expansion. Saturn. This is the planet that represents the structures that we build to support ourselves and the stewardship of those structures. In other words, our responsibilities. Mars, your sense of personal initiative, your drive, your ambition. Mercury, the intellect. What we think, what we say, what plans we make, the places that we go, especially the day-to-day stuff. Neptune. I usually say this is about spiritual awareness, but I'm going to start using the term human collective. Like with Venus up here, it's about how we relate, and this is also about how we relate, but not, just to ourselves and the things and people that we love the most, but to the all over human collective. What is the human spirit? All right, so those are the planets. Let's take a look at what aspects we'll encounter today. See, we have a number of them for today. Sextile is a cooperative energy. It's positive and it generates something. Cooperation makes things happen. I have a trine. Nice way to start the day. Very positive, harmonious. A square. represents the potential for challenges. These arrows mean ingress, which is another word for the transit or the movement of a planet out of one sign and into the next. And then we have quincunx. And this is variable outcomes. Variable. Outcomes variable. How do we like that? And I almost intuitively just made some red lights there. So it's kind of like, check your intentions, make sure you've got yourself buckled in, and then, you know, do what you're going to do anyway. It pays your money, it takes your choice. Okay, so those are the players, and these are the plays. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the interpretations. Excuse me. Today is day 3 of 4 in the ongoing column for Venus sextile Jupiter. The planet of love and money have been making these very positive, cooperative vibes with the planet for growth and opportunity. We find ourselves in a really fertile, abundant mode. This is literally a very sexy time, as intimacy and expansive good vibes are both indicated. We may also be shown some path to grow our finances in ways that reflect our values. Check your natal chart to get more specific information about Jupiter's influence in your life, and that may give you some clues as to where this growth is trying to happen. Growth. Love and money, baby. Focus on what you would like to grow, especially when it comes to yourself and those things and people that are the most precious to you. And now we come to today's aspects. I give these in Central Standard Time at 2:05 a.m. The moon, a void of course moon, went trine with Venus. Loving feelings dominate this 2-hour aspect. It feels good to relax at home with our loved ones. If we're at home with an intimate partner, sex may be enjoyable due to the enhanced sensitivity to touch and greater emotional availability that we might be feeling. In light of this Venus sextile Jupiter spell we are currently under, I want to remind you to use protection if you're not trying to make new babies, as this time is marked by fertility. Then at 4:53 a.m., the sun goes square with Saturn. When we have goals in mind for our outer life, work-related goals, social goals, community goals, and we can't move forward on them, the sun might be in a challenging relationship with Saturn. Perhaps we feel as though our responsibilities are too much and there's no end in sight. Perhaps we're going about our merry way, taking care of our responsibilities, but we keep getting stopped by unexpected obstacles. Some days feel like they are all obstacles, and today and tomorrow, while the sun is square Saturn, all we can do is rise to the challenge. Think of the square as a test of character. These are the kinds of roadblocks that remind us of the importance of patience and a can-do attitude. So take some deep breaths, gird your emotional loins, and go get 'em, tigers. Let's see. Patience with responsibilities and red lights. And that is a 2-day aspect, today and tomorrow. At 9:21 a.m. today, Mars makes ingress to Scorpio. For the past 29 days, Mars has been transiting Libra, closely aligned with the Sun's transits, leaving just a little bit of overlap. So today, our planet for action makes ingress to the sign that represents the depths and extremes. Naturally, when we combine deep desire with initiative, this can be a very generative and sexy time. 29 days. You're going to take action on your deepest desires. That's what you're going to feel driven to do. So my advice would be to really reflect on what those deepest desires are. "1:09 p.m. the moon makes ingress to Virgo. Cafe Astrology describes moon in Virgo this way. We instinctually gravitate toward practical activities under the influence of a Virgo moon. In an urge to set things right, we might easily find ourselves reorganizing and rethinking plans. Emotional satisfaction comes from solving problems, making order out of confusion, and helping others. Health matters might come into focus. We notice the smaller parts that make up the whole, and instead of letting nagging details bother us, we might work on ironing them out so that we can feel more confident moving ahead." I'm going to say, smooth the wrinkles. And this is a 2.5-day transit. And then we have a couple of after midnight aspects. One's at 1:22 p.m. a.m. Sunday morning. That's the moon sextile Mars. Mars puts us to work in the heart and home. During this 2-hour aspect, we may find ourselves feeling excited, pumped up, and ready to go. Emotionally, this makes us wide open and optimistic. Domestically, things may get competitive with a little friendly gameplay. This aspect has a very sexy feel to it as well. And again, in light of the ongoing Venus sextile Jupiter aspect, this is an especially fertile moment in time. What you give your energy to will produce good things. It's a 2-hour aspect. And this says just what I just said. Whatever you give your energy to will produce good things. It's our reminder to act on what we feel. And then, again, just checking my timing here. At 2:40 a.m. Sunday morning, Mercury runs quincunx to Neptune. The intellect is in a wobbly energy with the human collective here. And this energy brings to mind the power of the storyteller to alter the consciousness of those receiving the transmission. Disinformation, infotainment, illusion, smoke and mirrors. Be careful not to be sold on anything brand new or that you hadn't previously thought of buying during this time. Don't believe everything that you read or hear. This aspect takes about 2 days. I'm going to say, don't take any wooden nickels, because yes, I'm 80. All right. Tomorrow begins Samhain, This is the calendar midpoint between autumn's equinox and winter's solstice. Each of these holidays on the wheel of the year sits at an equinox, a solstice, or one of the four midpoints between them. And each of these holidays has a solar date and a lunar date, as the sun's calendar differs slightly from the moon's. So this year, solar Samhain lands this Sunday, and lunar Samhain comes up this Thursday with the new moon in Scorpio. So we're given about 5 days to celebrate, reflect, ruminate, and flex our intuitive muscles around this celebration of death and other endings. The end of this week and the first half of next week is an especially good time to practice your preferred art of divination, perhaps to see what guidance we can get from those who have moved beyond the veil. And we will talk about these things and more in upcoming episodes. That's it for today, friends. This has been your Daily Aspects and Astrological Weather Forecast for Saturday, October 30, 2021. I will leave this up for about 30 seconds so that you can have time to look it over. I am Melanie Rose, and I will see you back here tomorrow for more Daily Aspects.